Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's presentation of Spartans varsity softball. Today's matchup is between your East Long Spartans and the Brownies of Agawam. About ready to get things started here in the top of the first inning. It'll be Decker pitching today for the Spartans as she throws to Daniel Stratton, who will lead things off for the Brownies with a ball. 1-0 count now to Daniel Stratton, shortstop for the Brownies as she squares the bunt and will take the strike. Defensively for the Spartans in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Mary Edwards, Mackenzie Lambert, and Ali Abdulis. As Stratton squares the bunt again but misses for strike two. In the infield at third, it'll be Sabrina Gagne, Danny White will play short, Jill Morosino at second, and Kelly O'Shea will play first. Another bunt, fouled, and Stratton will get another chance. Battery for today will be Decker to Pioji. 1-2 count. Now to Stratton. And that swung on and missed for strike three. Julia Decker gets a leadoff strikeout to get things started here in this game. That'll bring up Rachel Lapinese, center fielder today for the Brownies. That swung on and missed for strike one. 0-1 pitch. And it swung on and missed for strike two. So Lapinese falls into the quick 0-2 count. That just misses the inside corner for a ball. A good 0-2 pitch from Decker. Lapinese not chasing, so it'll be 1-2 now to the center fielder. That swung on and grounded through the infield and will get into the outfield for a base hit. That'll bring up Taylor Marcotte. He's playing second base today for the Brownies. That pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-0 count now to Taylor Marcotte. She bats with a runner on first base. One out here in the top of the first. That offering is swung on and missed for strike one. And evens the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch to Marcotte is high and outside for a ball. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. That one was in the dirt. Will get away from AP, and Lapinese will go into second on the pass ball. So 2-2 count to Marcotte. As that just misses her feet, she dances out of the way for ball three. I'll load up the count. 2-2 count. My mistake. That swung on and grounded softly up the third baseline. Picked up foul by Gagne. So Marcotte stays alive at 2-2. Two pitch here, one out in the top of the first. Runner on second base for the Brownies. That swung on and grounded up the middle, get through the infield, and the runner will hold at third as the throw comes in from Lambert. So that base hit from Taylor Marcotte will have put runners at the corners here in the first inning. And I'll bring up Mary Mochio, designated player for the Brownies, as that first pitch misses high and outside, and the Spartans will just give Marcotte second base. It's high and outside as well for ball two. So 2-0 count now to Maria Mochio. That misses high for ball. 3-0 count. to the designated player for the Brownies. That's swung on and lifted to the outfield. Lambert settles under it. Runner at third tags, and she'll get in safely. So Lapinese tags from third on the catch by Lambert and gives the Brownies their first run of the day. That'll bring up Becca Ushman with 2 outs here in the first. She looks at ball 1 low and inside. Misses in the same spot for ball 2. So 2-0 count now to Becca Ushman. She bats here in the first with 2 outs. A runner on second. That gets the outside corner for strike 1. Taylor Marcotte stands on second base. That swung on and missed. Evens the count at 2-2 to Becca Ushman. That'll miss up and away for ball. And they'll full up the count. 3-2 to Becca Ushman. Payoff pitch. Misses outside for the walk. So I'll put a runner on first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And Mary Kate Reedy will come up to bat. Take a timeout so Marcotte can tie up her cleat. That hits the outside corner for strike 1 to Mary Kate Reedy. She's playing right field today for the Brownies. That swung on and missed for strike 2. Good pitch by Decker. 0-2 count now to Reedy. 2 outs here in the first. Runners on first and second. Brownies already scored 1. That swung on and grounded up the middle. Get past Danny White. And then past Lambert. 1 run will go in. And now they're sending the other runner around. Play at the plate, not in time. So the Brownies get 2 on the base hit by Mary Kate Reedy. And they'll go up 3-0 in this inning as Coach Santinello goes out to talk with his battery. Spartan's got a quick out with the leadoff batter getting a strikeout. After that, a couple base hits, sacrifice fly, and a walk later. They now find themselves down 3-0 here in the first inning. That'll bring up Jessica Lingenberg. That hits the outside corner for strike 1. So Decker gets ahead on the first pitch. 0-1 count. Now to the third baseman. That misses low and away for a ball. That's low for ball 2. 2-1 count now to Jessica Lingenberg. That swung on and missed, and evens the count at 2-2. That's the line past the second base side. Runner will hold at third. So Lingenberg makes it to first on the base hit. And Reedy will be held at third. I'm going to bring up Katie Grasso, left fielder today for Agawam. That misses outside for a ball. That hits in the inside corner with the knees for a strike. And evens the count at 1-1. No miss low. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Agawam Brownies lead the Spartans 3-0 in the first. 2 outs, 2-1 count. That swung on and missed for strike 2. Spartans thought it might have been strike 3, but it is 2-2. To Katie Grasso, the left fielder for Agawam. She bats with a runner on first and third. That swung on and missed. Throw down to first from Pioji will be in time to get the out. So the Brownies put 3 on the board here in the first. Spartans come back in the bottom half of the first after this quick break.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Longmeadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Longmeadow.
Bottom of the first ready to get underway here at Burton Park Middle School. It'll be Mackenzie Lambert leading things off today for the Spartans. She'll be followed by Danny White, Alyssa Pioji, Julia Decker, Jill Morosino, Ali Abdulis, Katie Novak, Kaylee O'Shea, and Sabrina Gagne. First pitch to Lambert is outside for ball 1. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-0 here early in this one. Brownies put 3 on the board in the first inning. That swung on and missed by Lambert for strike. 1-1 now to Mackenzie Lambert. That swung on and missed for strike 2. Lambert calls time. Pitching today for the Brownies is Allison Wheeler. She has a 1-2 count on Lambert. And that hits the outside corner for strike 3. So Lambert goes down looking to get things started in the first for the Spartans. That'll bring up Danny White, the shortstop today for the Spartans. Her first offering hits the outside corner for strike 1. That miss up for ball 1. That pitch evens the count at 1-1. Agawam Brownies overall record this season 11-2. They're 3-1 in the Valley League. As that swung on and missed by Danny White for strike 2. Right now they're in second place behind Westfield, who is undefeated this season. That pitch misses up to Danny White. 2-2 count. Now to White. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-0. That's lifted out of play foul onto the JV field. So White will stay alive at 2-2. That's inside for ball 3. 3-2 count now to White. That's lifted into the outfield. Left fielder Grasso makes a snow cone catch for the second out. Agawam had a chance to get overhead, but Grasso made a good catch to track that one down for the second out here in the first. That'll bring up Alyssa Pioji. 2 outs, no one on here in the bottom of the first inning. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-0. First pitch is low and outside for a ball. Just missed up. Ball 2 to Pioji, 2-0 count to the catcher. And that'll miss low for ball 3. So 3 straight balls. See if Coach Sant gives her the green light here or if she'll be taking all the way. Takes all the way, and Wheeler gets the courtesy strike. 3-1 now to Pioji. And that hits the outside corner for strike 3. Full count now to Alyssa Pioji, catcher today for the Spartans. And that'll miss, and she'll get a free pass down to first base. So the Spartans get a base runner with 2 outs here in the first inning. After the walk to Pioji, now I'll bring up Julia Decker. That hits for strike 1 to Decker. 0-1 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Pioji tries for second, and that throw will get past the covering shortstop, and she'll get in safely on the stolen base. 1-1 count to Decker. Pioji stands on second base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. That misses outside for a ball 2. Spartans trail the Agawam Brownies 3-0 early in this one. Brownies put 3 runs on the board last half inning. That swung on and missed by Decker. And he was a count at 2-2. 2-2 pitch to Decker. Hits the outside corner for strike 3, so Decker goes down looking. And the Spartans can't put any on the board this inning. After 1, the Brownies lead the Spartans 3-0.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Second inning just about ready to get underway here at Birchland Park Middle School. Spartans find themselves in a 3-0 hole. After 1, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. 9, 1, 2 hitters for Agawam. Forgot to turn my book over. As that first pitch misses for a ball to Allison Wheeler, the pitcher today for Agawam. That pitch misses up for ball 2. Spartans unable to put any runs on the board last half inning as that swung on and missed for strike 1. Wheeler recorded 2 strikeouts last inning. Last one was to Decker looking on a questionable outside pitch. As that offering hits for a strike. So 2-2 now to Wheeler. Grounded off of Pioji. Back to the backstop for a foul. 2-2 count now to Allison Wheeler. That swung on in line to Danny White, and she'll make the catch for the out. I'll bring the top of the order to bat for the Brownies. They lead the Spartans by 3 here in the top of the second inning. Danielle Stratton bats as she grounds one. Sabrina Gagne can't handle the hop, so she'll reach on the error. So it'll be 1 on and 1 out here in the second for Rachel Lapinese. Got a base hit in her first at bat last inning. She squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes the ball. Bunt still on. She puts it down. Back to Decker. She'll throw on to first for the out. And Stratton will move on to second. So 2 outs here in the second inning. And Taylor Marcotte will come up to the plate. Got a base hit in her last at bat. That swung on and missed for strike 1. That's grounded down the third baseline, fielded by Gagne. Strong throw over to first for the third out. So Spartans keep the Brownies off the board in this one. After 1.5, they still trail by 3. It's 3-0 Brownies. We'll be back for the home half after this quick break.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Back here at Birchland Park Middle School for the start of the bottom of the second. Spartans will have their 5, 6, 7 batters coming up in Jill Morosino, Ali Abdulas, and Katie Novak. Spartans trail the Agawam Brownies 3-0. First pitch is swung on and missed by Morosino. That hits the outside corner for strike 2. So Morosino falls to an 0-2 count. That's lifted out of play dangerously. Luckily hit no one back there. So Morosino will stay alive at 0-2. Spartans still looking for their first hit. That pitch misses outside for a ball. Good 0-2 pitch from Wheeler, but Morosino not chasing. So 1-2 count now to Morosino. That swung on and lined straight back to the backstop. Morosino battling to stay alive. She's 1-2. That swung on and lifted straight up, and will get out of play. Morosino fouling off another pitch to stay alive. Count will stay at 1-2. That's lifted straight up again, but will also get out of play. Morosino lives to see another pitch. Good at bat so far here from Morosino after falling 0-2. Fouled off a couple pitches. Stay alive. That's lifted down the first baseline, and that'll get out of play. It's another foul from Morosino. One-two pitch from Wheeler. It's grounded down the third baseline, past the diving Stratton, and Morosino, after a great at bat, will reach first on the base hit. Great at bat from Morosino. She fell 0-2 quickly, and then fouled off a bunch of pitches to stay alive, and then eventually got the base hit past the diving Daniel Stratton at short. I'll bring up Ali Abdulis for the Spartans. Abdulis squares the bunt but pulls back and takes pitch one high. One-0 offering is swung on and fouled straight back, even though it's a kind of 1-1. Abdulis bats with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Runner on first and Jill Morosino. Spartans trail the Agawam Brownies 3-0. The Brownies put 3 on the board in the first. That misses high and outside for ball 2. That swung on and missed. Evens the count at 2-2 to Abdulis. That swung on and missed for strike 3. And Morosino will take second base. So Abdulis goes down swinging for the first out in the second. That'll bring up Katie Novak, designated player today for the Spartans. That hits the inside corner for strike 1. That's the outside corner for a strike 2. So Novak goes down 0-2 quickly in this at bat. Joe Morosino still stands on second. That swung on and missed for strike 3. So 2 back-to-back strikeouts for Allison Wheeler. That's her 4th of the game, 2nd of this inning. For the second out of the second. That'll bring up Kelly O'Shea, playing 3rd today. Starting after missing a few games with an injury. Look at strike 1 on the outside corner. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-0. Jill Morosino stands on second base after a base hit. That swung on and missed by O'Shea, so 3 back-to-back strikeouts. Allison strikes out the side, and the Spartans unable to put a run on the board after 2. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-0.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCatSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Ready to get started with the third here at Birchland Park Middle School. The Brownies will have their 4, 5, 6 batters coming up in this one. That's grounded down the third baseline, fair. Get into the outfield, and Maria Mochio will reach second on the double. So one pitch, and the Brownies have a runner in scoring position. That'll bring up Becca Ushman. She walked in her first at bat. She looks at ball one. That swung on a miss. Good pitch by Decker to even the count at 1-1. That misses outside. Good play by Alyssa Pioji to catch that one and keep Mochio at second base. That swung on and fouled off. Brings the count to 1-2. I'm sorry, 2-2 to Becca Ushman. That swung on and foul tip hung on by Pioji for the strikeout. So one out here in the top of the third. And Mary Kate Reedy will come up to bat with a runner on second. That's grounded past third base and thrown in by Edwards. So base hit by Reedy will put runners at the corners with one out here in the third. Jessica Lingenberg bats. She squares bunt. That one gets past Pioji. Mochio will stay at third, and Reedy will move on to second on the pass ball. That swung on and missed by Lingenberg. Nice pitch by Decker. Good off speed to hit the outside corner for strike two. 1-2 now to Jessica Lingenberg. Runner at second and third. That one's grounded to third base. Gagne throws on to Pioji to get the runner at home and get the second out of the inning. Good play by Gagne to field that one cleanly and get the quick throw to Pioji at home. Keep the Spartans deficit to 3. That'll bring up Katie Grasso. She looks at strike one. Grasso struck out back in the first inning. Good pitch on the outside corner for strike two. So Decker goes ahead early. Gets the 0-2 count. That misses high for ball one. Not a bad 0-2 pitch. Just a little too high to get Grasso to chase. Be a runner on first and third. 2 outs here in the third inning. Good block by Pioji on that low pitch. Keep the runner at third. 2-2 count now to Katie Grasso. Ooh, look good. Pitchers have been getting that call all day, but not this time. And that loads the count at 3-2. Payoff pitch. Swung on and grounded. Fielded by Gagne. She throws on to first for the out. So the Spartans get past a leadoff double from Maria Mochio. They keep the Brownies scoreless in the third. After 2.5, Spartans still trail the Brownies 3-0.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. and also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Longmeadow.
All right, Spartans ready to get underway here in the home half for the third. It'll be Sabrina Gagne, Mary Edwards, and Mackenzie Lambert due up here in the third inning. First pitch to Gagne swung on and missed for strike one. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-0 here in the third as Gagne looks at ball one. Swung on and fouled back for strike two. Gagne is the last batter in the lineup, so it'll go to Mackenzie Lambert after this. Edwards, the flex player today, so she'll play the field, but she won't hit. As she looks at strike three on the outside corner. So Wheeler picks up her sixth strikeout of the day. And that'll bring the top of the order back up for the Spartans here in the third. Lambert looks at strike one. She struck out looking back in the first inning. That swung on and missed for strike two. So Wheeler throwing a lot of strikes in this one so far. That misses low for ball one. She's only thrown 3 balls to 2 batters in this one. Everyone else has either only seen 2 balls or less than that. That swung on and missed by Lambert for Wheeler's 7th strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Danny White. That hits the inside corner for strike one. So another first pitch strike for Wheeler. So far, he's throwing a ton of strikes. That just misses the outside corner for ball one. 1-1 count now to Danny White. That hits the inside corner for strike two. Wheeler working both sides of the plate. She can throw a strike inside or outside. Doesn't matter. She's just in that kind of groove today. That's grounded to second base. Marcotte fields and throws on to Ushman at first for the third out of the third. So the Spartans still unable to chip away at the Brownies' 3-run lead. They trail 3-0 heading into the fourth. We'll be back for that after this quick break.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Fourth inning action ready to get underway here at Burson Park. It'll be Allison Wheeler, followed by Daniel Stratton and Rachel Lapanese. As Wheeler swings and misses at strike one. Wheeler, the pitcher today for the Brownies, already has 7 strikeouts. She swings and misses at strike two. That swung on a miss. Great off-speed pitch by Decker to get the strikeout from Wheeler for the first out of the fourth. And that'll bring us to the top of the order for the Brownies and Daniel Stratton. She struck out and reached on an error today. Another good off-speed pitch by Decker. That hits the outside corner for strike one. That just misses outside for a ball. 1-1. Now to Stratton. That's lined into the outfield. Lambert makes the leaping catch for the second out of the fourth. Good job by Mackenzie Lambert to track that one down. With a little leap at the end to bring it in. And Rachel Lapinese will come up to bat now for the Brownies. That's popped into the infield, and Jill Morcino will bring it in for the final out of the fourth. So the Spartans get a 1-2-3 inning out of the Brownies. They'll bat in the bottom of the fourth after this quick break.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Spartans coming up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They trail the Agawam Brownies 3-0. It'll be Alyssa Pioji, Julia Decker, and Jill Morosino due up in this inning for the Spartans. Pioji walked in the first inning. She takes ball one inside. That'll miss up for ball two. 2-0 count now to Alyssa Pioji. She is the catcher today for the Spartans. Wheeler throws 3 balls in a row, which is uncharacteristic of her this game so far. She's collected 7 strikeouts so far through this game. That misses low for ball 4. So Pioji once again will get the free pass down to first base. And Julia Decker will come up to bat for the Spartans. That's hit hard into the outfield and will get over the center field wall for a home run. So Decker helps herself out with a 2-run home run and brings the Spartans within 1. They trail 3-2 here in the fourth. Ball hit on a line hard by Decker. It wasn't very high. Just high enough to get out of the field at Birchland Park. As Coach Kathy Georgina comes out to talk with her infield. Georgina in her 12th season as the coach for the Brownies. So that'll bring up Jill Morosino. She'll bat with the bases cleared after the Decker 2-run home run. Morosino swings and misses for strike 1. That pitch is lifted onto the JV field. And Morosino goes down 0-2. And that hits the inside corner for strike 3. Morosino goes down looking. And Wheeler gets her 8th strikeout of this game. A couple uncharacteristic at-bats for Wheeler as she walked Pioji and then gave up the home run to Decker, as that one's lifted out of play by Abdulis, but she got back on track with the strikeout from Morosino. 0-1 count now to Ali Abdulis. That misses outside for ball one. 1-1 now to the right fielder for the Spartans. Abdulis 0 for 1 today. She struck out back in the second. That's grounded at third, fielded by Lingenberg and thrown on to first for the out. So Novak will bat with 2 out here in the 4th inning. Spartans trail the Brownies by 1, 3-2 after the 2-run home run by Julia Decker earlier this inning. Swung on and missed by Novak. That's lifted out of play, foul. Novak will face an 0-2 pitch coming up here. She bats with no one on, 2 outs in the 4th inning. Spartans trail the Brownies 3-2. That one just misses low for ball 1. Good 0-2 pitch from Wheeler, but Novak not chasing the low pitch. That swung on and grounded to short. Will get through the wickets. And Novak will reach first. So the error by Stratton will put a runner on first for the Spartans with 2 outs. And we'll bring up Kelly O'Shea. O'Shea struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. That's lifted straight up. Catcher will settle under it and make the catch for the 3rd out. So the Spartans get 2 after the home run by Decker. They still trail by 1. Agawam Brownies lead 3-2 after 4 here at Burton Park.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCatSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Ready to get underway with the 5th inning here at Burton Park Middle School. It'll be Taylor Marcotte, Mary Muccio, and Becca Ushman batting in this inning for the Brownies. As Marcotte looks at ball 1 outside. That misses low for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Marcotte. Brownies lead the Spartans 3-2. Almost outside for ball 3. Stecker looks to battle back. That hits the outside corner. Strike 1. Decker gave the Spartans 2 runs last half inning after the 2-run home run. As that changeup is swung on and missed by Marcotte. So Decker battles all the way back. It'll be 3-2 now to Taylor Marcotte. That's grounded foul. Another off-speed pitch swung on and missed. So Decker gets a strikeout to start things off here in the 5th inning. For her 5th strikeout of the day. Decker's got a good changeup going today. Misses inside to Maria Muccio. That swung on and lined down the right field line, but foul. Pitch misses outside for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1. High outside to Muccio. Ball 2, 2-1. That's grounded foul down the third base line. That's lined to center field right at us. Lambert, good leaping try. Can't reel it in. That ball was hit on the line by Muccio. Lambert cut it off well, but couldn't make the leaping catch as it hit the tip of her glove. And Muccio goes into second on the double. So Becca Ushman will hit here with 1 out and a runner on second base in the top of the 5th inning. Collect the foul ball from earlier, and Coach Santinella will go out to have a talk with Julia Decker. So we're here in the top of the 5th inning. Spartans trail the Agawam Brownies 3-2. Spartans getting their 2 runs off a 2-run home run by Julia Decker in the last half inning. And with 1 out here in the 5th inning, Becca Ushman will bat with a runner on second in Maria Muccio. The umpire will go out, speed things up here, and the meeting will break apart. And we'll get back underway here in the 5th inning. This is high and outside to Becca Ushman for ball 1. Ushman 0 for 1 today, reached on a walk and struck out in 2 plate appearances as that offering from Decker hits the outside corner and it evens the count at 1-1. Same spot for strike 2. Umpire likes the low outside pitches. He's been consistent with it all day long. That one just a little too low. Evens the count at 2-2. But if Decker can live in that spot where those last 2 strikes were, that's grounded foul down the third base line. And Ushman will stay alive at 2-2. That's fouled straight back. And Ushman will live to see another pitch. Those last 2 pitches a little elevated from Decker. As that off speed misses high and outside for ball 3. It'll be a full count. Now to Ushman. Payoff pitch. Low for ball 4. So Ushman gets free pass down to first base. And Mary Kate Reedy will bat here in the 5th with 1 out. And runners at first and second. Reedy 2 for 2 today with 2 base hits. That swung on and grounded back to the backstop. Reedy looks at ball 2, high and away. Ball 1, sorry, evens the count at 1-1. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and looks at ball 2. This would be a good time to bunt for the Brownies if Reedy can get it down. Squares around, can't get it done, fouls it off. And runners will have to go back to first and second. So that'll be 2-2 now to Reedy. The bunt should be off here. She will be swinging. And that's lined back to the backstop. So she'll stay alive at 2-2. That one a little low to Reedy, and the count will be full. 3-2. Runners at first and second. Payoff pitch from Decker is lifted into the infield. Infield fly rule called by the umpire. And that one's caught by Gagne for the second out. Now bring up Jesse Lingenberg. That misses outside for ball 1. Those of you that don't know at home, the infield fly rule is for when runners are on first and second or bases loaded with less than 2 outs to help the offense, to prevent the defense from purposely dropping a fly ball and getting an easy double play. That swung on and missed by Lingenberg. 1-1 now to the third baseman.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
It'll be 9-1-2 for the Spartans here in the 5th inning. Sabrina Gagne will lead things off, followed by Mackenzie Lambert and then Danny White. Gagne struck out back in the 3rd in her first at bat. First pitch swung on and missed. Swung on again by Gagne, but she'll come up empty for strike 2. 0-2 pitch to Gagne. Swung on and missed. And Wheeler gets her 9th strikeout of the day. And that'll bring up Mackenzie Lambert. She struck out twice today, back in the 1st and the 3rd. That's fouled straight back out of play. That pitch misses outside to Lambert. 1-1. Now the count So far, Wheeler's only mistake so far in this one has been back in the 4th inning when she gave up the 2-run home run to Julia Decker. That's lined out of off the top of the. They hit the top bar of the fence, and they will get the out at second as that ball was hit so hard by Lambert that it hit the top of the fence and bounced all the way back to the left fielder, and she got it into second for the out. So Spartans just missing tying the game by an inch or two. And Danny White will come up to bat for the Spartans. 0 for 2 today is Danny White, and she flown out to left field and grounded out. She'll turn away from ball 1, high and inside. That pitch misses low and away for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Danny White. That's lined over the shortstop's head and will roll to center field. And White will stop at first with the single. So White picks up the 2-out hit. And that'll bring up Alyssa Pioji. She's walked twice today. The only 2 walks that Wheeler has given up today have been to Pioji. She looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. I'll miss high up and away for ball 1. 1-1 now to the catcher. That's fouled back. 1-2 coming up to Alyssa Pioji. One-two pitch to Pioji. Swung on and lifted. Caught by Stratton. Nice grab there, going back into left field to make the 3rd out. So the Spartans an inch or 2 away from tying this game up, but they can't put anyone across. They still trail the Brownies 3-2 going into the 6th.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCatSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Ready to get started with the 6th inning here at Birchland Park Middle School. It'll be Katie Grasso, Allison Wheeler, and Danielle Stratton hitting here for the Brownies. Stratton looks at, Grasso looks at ball 1. That swung on and picked up foul by Pioji. So that'll even the count at 1-1.
What is the score? Do we know? He knows. Oh, can't talk.
1-1 pitch to Katie Grasso. That swung on and missed for strike 2. That's grounded up the middle, and Grasso will reach on the leadoff hit for the Brownies. So I'll bring up Allison Wheeler with a chance to help herself out. Here in this one, she'll bat with a runner on first and Katie Grasso. No outs here in the 6th inning. That hits the outside corner for strike one. Bat with a one-run lead. Brownies lead the Spartans 3-2 so far in this one. That misses up. Snap throw down to first. But Grasso dives in safely. 1-1 pitch now to Allison Wheeler. That swung on and missed for strike two. Wheeler 0 for 2 today, lining out to short and striking out so far in this one. As that one's fouled down the right field line. One-two pitch to Allison Wheeler is high and away for ball two. Evens the count at 2-2. Wheeler bats with a runner on first. Still no outs here in the 6th inning. That one's bowled in by Decker. Good play by Pioji to bring it in and keep Grasso at first base. Full count now to Wheeler. Swung on and grounded foul down the third baseline. So she'll stay alive here. Payoff pitch to Wheeler. Swung on and grounded straight back foul. So she'll battle again here with Decker. Pitcher against pitcher. That swung on and grounded right to Decker. She can't control it. Morosino will pick it up and flip onto White, covering second for the first out. I'll bring up the top of the order in Daniel Stratton for the Brownies. Stratton looks at ball one. She's 0 for 3 today with a strikeout, a line out, and she's reached on an error. She'll take ball two. Outside, she bats with a runner on first and Allison Wheeler. One out here in the 6th inning. That hits that outside corner for strike one. Umpire still calling that outside corner generously. Not that generous though, as that misses for ball three. 3-1 now to Stratton. Stratton plays basketball for the Brownies, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, also the cousin of Elcat's own Tom Cronin, who covered most of the basketball games this past season. That pitch misses, and Stratton will get the free pass down to first base, and we'll put runners at first and second for Rachel Lapinese, who is 1 for 3 today with a base hit and a ground out and a fly out. Lapinese squares the bunt, gets it down. Decker fields, throws on to Morosino covering first base, and the Spartans get the second out on the sacrifice. So it'll be runners at second and third for the Brownies And Taylor Marcotte will come up to bat. And Coach Santinella will go out and talk with his pitcher and catcher, figure out a game plan on how to go about pitching to Marcotte. Agawam Brownies lead the Spartans 3-2. Low scoring game here in the 6th inning. Spartans 2 runs coming from a 2-run home run by Julia Decker. And Marcotte will bat here with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And 2 outs. She looks at ball 1 outside. That swung on in line to Danny White. She'll make the easy catch for the 3rd out of the 6th. So the Spartans get out of a jam here and keep the Brownies off the board. Once again, Brownies haven't scored since the 1st inning. Spartans down to their last 6 outs. They need to start chipping away at the 3-2 lead. We'll be back for the home half of the 6th after this quick break.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough, located on Shaker Road in East Longmeadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Longmeadow.
Spartans ready to start hitting here in the 6th inning. It'll be Julia Decker, Jill Morosino, and Ali Abdulas to start things off for the Spartans in this one. Spartans down to their last 6 outs here in this game. They trail the Brownies 3-2. Decker looks at strike 1 on the inside corner. Decker hit the 2-run home run in her last at bat to bring the Spartans within 1 run of the Brownies. As that hits the outside corner for strike 2. Spartans still trail by 1 run, 3-2 here in the 6th inning. That's lifted down the left field line and will get out of play. Decker will stay alive, 0-2. 0-2. 0-2 pitch from Wheeler. Fouled straight back. Great defensive swing from Decker to stay alive. Another 0-2 pitch from Wheeler. That misses outside for ball 1. This will be 1-2 now to Julia Decker. It's fouled straight back. And Decker battling through this at bat. Stays alive, 1-2. That's pitches fouled off down the left field line. Decker stays alive yet again. Count remains at 1-2 to Julia Decker. Decker 1 for 2 today with a strikeout and a home run to give the Spartans a 2-run. That one's lifted again. Out of play down the left field line.
There's a team that went by with their equipment on rollers. That sound bothers her.
So Decker continues to battle here in the 6th inning. Count will remain at 1-2. Spartans trail Brownies 3-2. No outs here in the 6th inning. That's lifted into the outfield. And Stratton travels pretty far. Stratton drops the ball. And Decker will get on to first on the error. Strange play there. Stratton traveled a long way to catch it, but I guess couldn't hold it long enough to make the out. And the umpires are going to talk it over. It didn't look like she dropped it on a transfer. It looked like she just dropped it out of her glove. As Morcino squares the bunt. Just foul by Morcino. Stratton did a good job of tracking that ball down. It was she traveled pretty far out into the outfield to track that one down. Just couldn't hold on to it. Morcino swings on and lines that one into the outfield, but right at Lapinese, and she'll make the catch for the first out. I'll bring up Abdulis for the Spartans. Abdulis is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. That's fouled straight back. Spartans trail the Brownies here in the 6th inning, 3-2. Both pitchers have been very good today. Wheeler's collected 8 or 9 strikeouts so far today. That's fouled out of play by Abdulis. Oh, 2 count to Ali Abdulis. That's grounded up the middle. We'll get past the diving Stratton. That ball took a late hop. Stratton did a good job to get a glove on it. Kept Decker from going to third. But Abdulis will reach on the base hit. And Decker will move on to second. For Katie Novak, who is 0 for 2 today. She looks at strike 1. She struck out in the 2nd and reached on an error in the 4th. That hits the outside corner for strike 2. So Novak finds herself in an 0-2 count. Runners on first and second. 1 out here in the 6th inning. That swung on and missed for a strikeout. And Wheeler collects her 10th strikeout of the day. And we'll have a pinch hitter here for Kelly O'Shea. It'll be number 20, Jill Turowski, who will bat for Kelly O'Shea. That swung on a miss by Turowski. She bats with 2 outs, runners at first and second in Julia Decker and Ali Abdulis. And that hits at the knees for strike 2. So Turowski finds herself in the 0-2 hole. She's got to protect here with runners on. That swung on and missed. So 11 strikeouts through 6th for Allison Wheeler. The Agawam Brownies still lead the Spartans 3-2. We'll be back for the 7th after this quick break.
Today's game is brought to you in part by The Pizza Shop, home of the legendary dough located on Shaker Road in East Long Meadow. And also by Let's Yo, a yogurt experience. You can visit Let's Yo on North Main Street in the Stop and Shop Plaza in East Long Meadow.
Ready to start here in the 7th inning. Spartans look to hold the Brownies scoreless here in this one as Brownies have a 1-run lead over the Spartans. That first pitch to Maria Mochio. This is outside for ball 1. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Brownies in this inning. As that hits the outside corner for a strike, evens the count at 1-1 to Muccio. Pitch misses inside for a ball. Muccio 2 for 2 today. 2 doubles. Also has a sacrifice fly. That misses up and away for ball 3. 3-1 count. Now to Maria Muccio. That's swung on and hit in the air. And Danny White will make the play, going backwards on that one for the first out of the 7th. I'll bring up Becca Ushman. Ushman 0 for 2 today with 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a strikeout. That first offering misses outside for ball 1. Same spot outside for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Becca Ushman. That hits the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 away here in the 7th inning after the flyout by Muccio. That's grounded to Danny White. She'll throw on to first to O'Shea for the out. With the 6-3 put out, it'll be 2 outs here in the 7th inning, and Mary Kate Reedy will come up to bat. Reedy 0 for 2, 2 for 3 as she lines that one right at Mary Edwards. Edwards only having to take a step in for the 3rd out. So the Spartans keep the Brownies off the board. They haven't scored since the 1st inning. It'll be 3-2 for the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back for that after this quick break.
Sports fans, stay in touch with all of East Longmeadow High School sports by following us on Twitter using our handle @LCATSports. And if you miss any of the games on TV, you can watch the game at your leisure by visiting us on YouTube and searching LCAT 01028.
Spartans down to their final 3 outs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They trail the Agawam Brownies by 1, 3-2. As Spartans will have their 9-1-2 hitters coming up in Sabrina Gagne, Mackenzie Lambert, and Danny White. Allison Wheeler looks to hold the Spartans scoreless as her first pitch to Gagne hits for strike 1. Wheeler pretty much having her way with the Spartan lineup today. She's collected 12 strikeouts so far through this one. Her only mistake coming in the 4th when she gave up the 2-run home run to Julia Decker. That half swing from, it's actually Balboni pitch hitting for Gagne. That misses up and away. Balboni turns out of the way. Brings the count to 1-2. So Balboni pitch hitting here in the 7th for Gagne. She swings and misses at strike 3. And Wheeler will pick up her 13th strikeout of the day for the first out of the 7th inning. And the top of the order will come around for the Spartans. Kenzie Lambert, 1 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts and a base hit. That first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Ball 2 now to Mackenzie Lambert. After Lambert, it would be Danny White. And if any of those two reach, it will be Alyssa Pioggi. That swung on and missed from Lambert. She reached for that one. And count will be 2-1. Lambert adjusts her batting gloves, having some kind of malfunction with her batting gloves. She'll figure it out and step back into the box. It'll be 1-2, 2-1 to Lambert. Wheeler's pitch is high and to Lambert, so it'll be 3-1. A walk just as good as a hit here in this situation. As that pitch hits that generous outside corner that umpires had all day for strike 2. And it'll be a full count now to Lambert. Both pitchers have taken full advantage of that umpire's outside strike zone. It's a 3-2 pitch to Lambert. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So that's 14 strikeouts on the day for Wheeler. And Danny White will come up to bat for the Spartans. White 1 for 3 today. She's got a base hit, a fly out, and a ground out. That miss up. Looked good from here, but umpire said it was high, so that's ball 1 to Danny White. That pitch misses outside for ball 2, so 2-0. Now to Danny White. White will call time and step out. Spartans down to their last out here in the 7th inning. They trailed the Agawam Brownies 3-2. As that hits for strike 1, and Allison Wheeler has put on a clinic today. She's collected 13 strikeouts so far through this game. 2-1 count now to Danny White. That one's lifted foul down the right field line by Danny White, and it'll be 2-2. The Spartans now down to their last strike. 2-2 pitch from Allison Wheeler. Swung on and grounded to short, fields and throws on to first for the 3rd out and the final out of this game. So Spartans unable to get that 3rd run after the 2-run home run by Julia Decker back in the 4th inning. Today was a pitcher duel. Both pitchers pitched an excellent game. Decker gave up 3 runs in the 1st inning but kept the Brownies off of the board for the rest of the game. She gave the Spartans more than enough opportunity to win this one. But Allison Wheeler had herself a day in the circle. 13 strikeouts through this one, only giving up the 2-run home run to Decker in the 4th. So Spartans will fall to 8-5 on the season. Agawam will improve to 12-2. This game, not a conference game, so both teams will stay at, Agawam will stay at 3-1, and East Long Meadow will stay at 3-2 in their leagues. So the Spartans dropped this one 3-2 to Agawam. For LCAT Sports, I'm Nick Balboni. Join the line, Nick Hansman on the camera. We'll see you next time.